The story of Jesus Christ has captivated humanity for centuries. His teachings of love, forgiveness, and redemption have touched countless lives. However, some scholars and researchers suggest that the Jesus narrative might not be entirely original. They point to intriguing parallels between Jesus' life, death, and resurrection, and those of earlier mythological figures. Could these similarities be mere coincidence, or do they hint at a deeper, more ancient truth? This video delves into the controversial Christ conspiracy theory, examining the striking resemblances between the Jesus narrative and ancient myths, particularly focusing on astro-theological interpretations and their impact on modern spiritual beliefs. The Christ conspiracy theory proposes that the story of Jesus is not a unique historical event, but rather a reinterpretation of older myths and archetypes. Proponents of this theory argue that early Christians borrowed elements from these ancient stories to craft a narrative that would resonate with the people of their time. While this idea remains deeply controversial, exploring the parallels between Jesus and earlier mythological figures offers a fascinating glimpse into the nature of myth-making, the evolution of religious beliefs, and the enduring power of archetypal stories. By examining these parallels, we are not seeking to diminish the significance of Jesus or Christianity. Instead, we aim to understand the broader context in which Christianity emerged, and to appreciate the common threads that connect diverse cultures and spiritual traditions. The similarities between these stories invite us to explore the universal themes they embody, themes of death and rebirth, sacrifice and redemption, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. This exploration is not about proving or disproving any particular belief system. Instead, it's about fostering a deeper understanding of the rich tapestry of human spirituality and the powerful narratives that have shaped our world. Join us as we embark on a journey to uncover the mysteries of the past and explore the enduring power of myth. Ancient Egypt provides one of the most compelling examples of parallels with the Jesus narrative. The myth of Osiris, the god of the underworld and rebirth, bears striking resemblances to the story of Christ. Osiris, like Jesus, was believed to be a divine being who walked among humans, teaching them about agriculture, justice, and civilization. According to Egyptian mythology, I was betrayed and murdered by my jealous brother, Set. Set dismembered my body and scattered my remains across Egypt. Isis, Osiris' devoted wife, searched for his remains and, with the help of other gods, pieced his body back together, resurrecting him. Osiris then became the ruler of the underworld, presiding over the afterlife and the cycle of death and rebirth. The parallels between Osiris and Jesus are undeniable. Both are portrayed as divine beings who suffered betrayal, death, and resurrection. Both stories emphasize themes of sacrifice, redemption, and the promise of life after death. Horus as Horus. Moreover, I, Horus, the son of Osiris and Isis, am often compared to Jesus. I am depicted as a divine child who was conceived miraculously and who triumphs over evil, much like Jesus. The similarities between the Osiris-Horus myth and the Jesus narrative have led some scholars to speculate that early Christians may have borrowed elements from Egyptian mythology. While the extent of this influence remains a subject of debate, the parallels are too striking to ignore. They highlight the enduring power of certain archetypal narratives that resonate across cultures and time periods. The story of a dying and rising God sacrificing himself for the salvation of humanity is a recurring motif in many ancient mythologies, suggesting a universal human fascination with themes of death, rebirth, and the triumph over evil. Beyond Egypt, ancient Persia offers another compelling example of a deity with striking parallels to Jesus, Mithras. Mithras, a god of light, truth, and justice, was worshipped in a mystery cult that spread throughout the Roman Empire around the same time as early Christianity. Mithras as Mithras. Like Jesus, I was believed to have been born of a virgin on December 25th, although the historicity of this date for Jesus' birth is debated. I was also associated with the sun, symbolizing my role as a bringer of light and knowledge. Mithras' mythology emphasizes his role as a mediator between humanity and the divine. He is often depicted slaying a bull, an act representing the sacrifice necessary to overcome darkness and bring about spiritual liberation. Followers of Mithraism believed that through initiation into their mysteries, they could achieve immortality and union with the divine, mirroring the Christian concept of salvation through Christ. The similarities between Mithraism and early Christianity extend beyond their narratives. Both religions placed a strong emphasis on ethical conduct, emphasizing virtues like honesty, compassion, and self-control. Mithraism also featured rituals like communal meals and baptism, which bear a striking resemblance to Christian practices. While Mithraism ultimately waned as Christianity gained dominance, the parallels between the two religions continue to fascinate scholars and fuel speculation about their shared origins. The story of Mithras, like that of Osiris, points to the universality of certain archetypal themes in human storytelling. The concept of a divine being sacrificing himself for the good of humanity, the promise of immortality through initiation, and the emphasis on ethical conduct are all themes that resonate deeply with the human psyche, transcending cultural and historical boundaries. The similarities between Mithraism and Christianity serve as a reminder of the interconnectedness of human spiritual traditions and the enduring power of ancient myths. Venturing further east, we encounter Krishna, a central figure in Hinduism and another compelling example of a deity with parallels to Jesus. Krishna, often depicted with blue skin, is considered an avatar, a divine incarnation of Vishnu, the preserver god in Hinduism. His story, as narrated in the epic Mahabharata, is filled with miracles, teachings, and a profound message of love and devotion. Krishna, like Jesus, I was born in humble surroundings, my birth shrouded in miraculous events. I displayed divine powers from a young age, captivating people with my wisdom and charisma. Krishna's teachings, much like Jesus's, emphasized love, compassion, and the importance of fulfilling one's dharma or duty. He played a pivotal role in the Kurukshetra war, a central event in the Mahabharata, guiding his disciple Arjuna through a battle that mirrored the internal struggle between good and evil. Krishna, my life, like Jesus's, culminated in a sacrificial death that brought about a spiritual awakening. I am revered by Hindus not just for my teachings, but also for my embodiment of divine love and my willingness to descend into the human realm to guide humanity towards enlightenment. While the cultural and theological differences between Hinduism and Christianity are vast, the parallels between Krishna and Jesus offer a glimpse into the universality of certain human experiences and aspirations. The longing for a divine savior, the power of love and sacrifice, and the quest for spiritual liberation are themes that resonate across cultures and time periods, reminding us of the interconnectedness of human spirituality. In the realm of Greek mythology, Dionysus, the god of wine, ecstasy, and theatre, presents another compelling parallel to the Jesus narrative. Dionysus, often depicted as a handsome youth crowned with ivy and holding a thyrsus, I embody the dual nature of life and death, joy and sorrow. Like Jesus, Dionysus' birth was miraculous. He was the son of Zeus, the king of the gods, and a mortal woman named Semele. Dionysus' Hera, Zeus's jealous wife, tricked Semele into demanding that Zeus reveal himself in his true form. Unable to withstand the god's power, Semele perished. Zeus saved me, the unborn Dionysus, and sewed me into his thigh, from where I was later reborn. Dionysus' mythology is filled with themes of death and resurrection, echoing the cycle of the seasons and the promise of renewal. He travels the land teaching his followers the art of winemaking and the importance of embracing life's pleasures. Dionysus. However, my celebrations are often met with resistance, and I am persecuted and even killed, only to be resurrected and return to life. The parallels between Dionysus and Jesus extend to their association with wine, a symbol of both earthly pleasure and spiritual transformation. In the Christian tradition, wine represents the blood of Christ consumed during communion as a reminder of his sacrifice and the promise of salvation. Similarly, in Dionysian rituals, wine was believed to hold transformative power, enabling participants to connect with the divine and experience ecstatic states of consciousness. Dionysus. While the outward expressions of our worship differ significantly, both Jesus and I represent the power of transformation, the cycle of death and rebirth, and the potential for spiritual liberation. Their stories remind us that even in the midst of suffering and loss, there is always hope for renewal and the possibility of transcending our earthly limitations.